Hello, my name is Faith. I'm Kenyan and I'm here to give you my healing testimony. So, I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and this is exactly how it started. Back in 2020, I always had this discomfort in my stomach, always bloating, food very fast, and pain, constant pain. So after 3 months, I felt a very huge mass on my right side, my lower abdomen, but on the right side. So I had to go and get it checked, and the doctor recommended immediate CT scan to check what exactly was happening. They saw a huge mass in my intestines, and worry was it's either a growth which is cancerous. So I went to do a CT scan. I took it back to my doctor, and he recommended immediate surgery so that a biopsy can be taken out of the sample. When they are removing the growth, they removed a huge part of my intestines too, my colon, a very huge part of my colon, in case whatever that was I was diagnosed with had already spread any further. So yeah, I don't have half of my large intestines. So I spent 10 days in hospital. That was last year. I went for surgery on May 4th. I spent 10 days in hospital, and when I got discharged, I had to go and take my results for the biopsy of the growth that was removed from my doctor. And that was when he told me that, Faith, it's sad to tell you that you've been diagnosed by cancer, type of cancer called non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is intestinal. It is an intestinal cancer. So it affects the lymphatic system. It had affected my large intestines. So that was when my journey started. I got broken. My friend Nigerian introduced me to Pastor Jerry Eze. I wrote a message to Pastor Jerry Eze, a prayer request for my healing. I had faith that he had seen it, and it was among the prayer requests that he usually sets up on the table. And I prayed every morning. And when I go back to the hospital, the doctor was, Faith, you have to go for chemotherapy immediately so that they can cleanse my whole system in case there's any remnant cells that are cancerous. Yeah. So the doctor kept on complaining that I am derailing. I was like, you know what? I cannot see this disease, and there is no way I'm going to accept something that I know very well can be healed by God, because what God cannot do does not exist. So I'm going to prove that today. I'm going to prove that. He told me, fine, go for a PET scan so that we can get to know the exact type of cancer. He told me it's the worst kind of cancer. Sorry, not the worst kind of cancer, but type of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, because there's so many types, but this specific type was called Burkitt's lymphoma. Burkitt's lymphoma affects the lymph nodes. You'll get a huge swelling on your face, on your groin, on your armpits. But I never had any of those signs to begin with. So how can I accept something that I cannot see? It's a disease. I will fight it with my faith. I did not have any medical intervention. Actually, I did not go through any treatment. And when the results of the PET scan came, there were a few cells that were active. So I went to the doctor. I was like, yeah, fine, there are a few. Yes, there are a few, but it's progress, doc. It's progress. It wasn't like this. And I told him I will pray until all this thing is going to disappear. And I had so much faith in God, and I still have so much faith in God, So he said, no, I still have to do the chemotherapy. Again, I derailed, and I prayed, and I pushed, and I pushed, and I prayed until I knew I'm praying until something happens. I knew that was my purpose. And I told God, you know what, God, please heal me, and I will spread your word. 4 months down the line of constant praying and faith and doing God's work, I went again and did the tests. The same PET scan I did that I was diagnosed with, the same PET scan, I went and repeated it, and the results came no evidence of any metabolically active or residual disease. I couldn't believe it. Praise God. I couldn't believe it. I went and showed it to my doctor, and he was like, okay, he's never dealt with such a case, and my faith healed me. It's been 1 year. Today marks 1 year since I was declared cancer-free, since I was declared healed medically, and I'm still standing strong. I had shaved my hair last year in preparation for what I'm going to face. I was ready. I was only going to fight it through faith. In case of the worst case scenario, just faith. But I thank God, and it's been 1 year, 1 full year, and I'm still fine. What God cannot do does not exist. I'm a living testimony, and I will spread the good news.